back to do the Divine Feminine. Let's see if the first week of March is going to be anything like the Divine Masculine's read. Now, as mentioned, I am going to put the cards up on the screen in a moment. We're going to pull clarifiers. I'm going to really dig deep into what I see coming for you guys, and also how you can navigate this very interesting month. March is going to be pretty intense, as I mentioned, and we already have seen it in the first edition of March 2023 for the Divine Masculine. And I do really see, especially from Divine Feminine's read, is that you guys also may feel spiritually you're doing a little bit of shadow work, maybe some karmic situations coming. It does look for a majority of you that you'll pass in karmic tests. And there is some shadow work, especially from the first row. I'm saying relating to the past, that you're really looking at the sacrifices that you had made, really, and it's interesting because we do see the Aries energy coming through in the collective. As really our attraction to the bad boys, or our attractions to believing we have to do things a certain way. And all of us hold both light and dark, and it's about finding the harmony between the both, but being in self-awareness with it. So there may have been some sacrifices in love you've made in the past, and it won't just be with counterpart, it will be point blank zero. Some of you are really learning at the heart of it that it's a little bit like a diet, temperance. There's a method to the madness. There's less and more by abstaining from situations. And really, we can't reject the fact that there is dark in the world and that we have natural needs, that we have natural desires. So, it's not an all or nothing. The one thing I did know on Twin Flame Path is that really for the first time with my last separation, the one thing I did do was really abstain from anything. And it was so that anytime I wanted to seek outside myself, I would find that inside my life and not through a physical partnership, be it was a friendship, be it was an intimate partner. And so everything for 12 months was very much, okay, back into self, so that I wasn't seeking outside myself. So sometimes we can actually say, well, look, I've done much shadow work. Shadow work is where you feel you are no longer defined by another person, and it's a continuation thing. It's not done in 24 hours. It's a work in progress. And it's not to say that when we do that we don't have any more work to do. 100% I continue to work on myself and realize my shadow, and by no means I have been perfect, but I'm definitely seeing in this read moving into the first week of March is that some of you could really struggle with that. It may be, going to extremes of feeling, look, I've made sacrifices, I'm being a good girl, so where is my gift at the end of it? I mean, it's not to say that you have to abstain from luxuries, abstain from not being, almost like a robot. No, not at all. But there is this resistance to the temptation, and there can be a test. So it could be for those of you that are really stuck at the moment and feeling, look, I've waited, I've been MIA, so I'm just moving forward. And you're always moving forward. We make those statement pieces many times very loosely because we're extremely strict with ourselves, and we're saying, look, I should have been in a particular place by now. Universe always gives you what they feel you need. There's a season for every reason. So could there potentially be an individual here that is dancing with you in the dark for some of you? Yes, there could be. And there is a karmic test here associated to it of, is this the correct path for you? And only you can define whether that is or isn't so. But there does appear to be, for some of you, there is a test associated to that, but it's also inside your own twin flame path. It's believing that this can change, being open to the fact it can change because of the fact that you were changing. So therefore, if you can change, others around you will and can. What am I seeing on the next row before we move into a deep dive? Yeah, it's like what's kept in the dark doesn't stay in the dark. It never has, it never will. I do feel there's temptation here. Now, the temptation can be coming from Divine Masculine. There's a great deal of chemistry between the both of you. But foundation-wise, you don't want to keep attracting a karmic version of a counterpart. And I feel this is really what your reading is coming through with this week. There is a test here. There's a lot of chemistry, there's resistance. It's not to say that intimacy with counterpart is wrong. I'm not saying that at all. But I do spiritually see from this. Let me tune. I think you're changing your approach. Some of you have lost faith in the fact that this can transform. Some of you are saying, how can I have the wonderful partner and the angel energy? You know, how can I have it all? How can I have the attraction and the chemistry? And can I have one but not the other? And I really feel you can have both, but I do feel this is very much psychologically taking a toll on you. Some of you, the further into your ascension you get, there can be, for some of you, there can be a little bit of comparison going on, feeling almost like something is hidden. Many of you have already passed this, so some of you could have, like I said though, somebody that's coming in to seduce you. Usually it's quite a compliment. It can mean that counterpart is very close behind, and really going into your heart space, you're always going to know what is correct for you at that point in time. Okay, let's go back to clarify. What do they want us to know? Any further information? I do think this is relating to Pluto transiting and Saturn. I think this is closing a very big karmic cycle, but it's going to be moving in and out to review, but it can be quite heavy as we do move into March. I feel you have learnt a lot to do with what love is and what love isn't. You know, sometimes there's this belief system inside of us that we must sacrifice in order to have a connection. And I don't necessarily feel that's completely true. There are some things, yes, there's some things, no, but you definitely are going to be having energy coming through on the 5D, especially it can be pulling and nagging at you to drag you back into an old way of being. Yeah, we've got the Pluto card on top of the Devil. Okay, some of these changes, though, if you do look at it, have you changed in the way you approach it? Have you changed? Because whenever we get the fives, it's about change. Have you changed your approach? Has a circumstance surrounding? But it's almost like you're looking at their side and waiting for their situations to change. But there's also on your side of the fence situations that are changing. And for some of you, you've taken the correct approach. You've really gone into it and looked at, okay, does it need to be then that contacts? Is it me that can change the way I articulate how I feel and making a statement piece? But there's been something here inside our physical power that has evolved for many. For some, it can feel as though there is a double check on that just to really make sure that you've tweaked that enough for that forward movement. And I do feel some of you can be deeply surprised that there is going to be consistency coming through with counterpart, and there can be a lot that changes extremely fast. This can be masculines coming out of the woodworks. Some of you are going to hear gossip that a karmic situation has closed or they've got some karmic justice. And it's funny. I don't know why I'm getting this. We've got the joyful card. It's almost like a whole role reversal, unfortunately. But it's comical. I'm just saying it's comical. There's karmic retribution here. And you didn't have to do anything, but it can be something traveling through the grapevine. Some of you may see a photo on social media. You can be thinking back to a photo and noticing or memories relating to this. And it's almost like, especially for those that are in a karmic cycle, and it doesn't have to be a physical romantic relationship, it can be the tribe. This person is literally paying absolutely no attention to the karmic and is really looking your way. They have more commitment to you. It doesn't matter what they're doing, where they are, they have a lot of commitment to you. The other thing I'm noticing is that the karmic in this interview, and this is past karmic, I don't feel this is a current karmic. It could be for some. It's almost like they drank from, it's like the absinthe drinker. You know, there's a bit of hallucination here. They could have an issue with substance. They could have an issue with alcohol for some. They may be seeing things like at a different level. That's not to say it's bad, but I mean, you know, they're seeing things in a different way. It feels a little bit delusional. Those that separated will end up doing so, and I feel there's a large group at the moment that's completely in separation. I'll say that. I really am feeling that very strongly. A lot of you are thinking, well, I haven't had forward movement, so that means counterparts in a karmic relationship. I actually don't feel so. I feel at times we need to be grounded in order to, you know, really see where our life's going to go, really gain our bearings again. And so not necessarily does it have to be just, that could be the shadow of us sometimes. Well, you know, well, I should have been in a relationship by now, so they must be. And, you know, sometimes it can be that they do need a little bit of time to unpack, not necessarily as much as divine feminine, but definitely enough time to unpack, get ground, to get the ducks in a row. I do feel counterpart is really seeing that they do have chemistry with you. They do see that you have made sacrifices in the past and got, you know, at times a little in return. They're out to prove you wrong. Definitely. Can't wait to see the comics, right? Haven't even looked at the cards. Yeah. Divine Feminine's like, look, show. It's that old notion. I think, what movie was it? You guys probably can tell me. It's like, show me the money. It's like, show me the proof in the pudding. Show me that thing. You know, we've got the consistency card at a foundation level. It's like, look, show me it's changed, and I will totally, you know, put that to bed. I'll totally put the past to bed. I'm all good with that. Yeah, you guys at a foundation are really worried. You're like, is the person there? Isn't a person there? Ask the critical questions. I do feel somebody is coming through and giving gossip. You need to discern between what's true and what's not. I also see some of you are going to see a photo on social media. Look at the person's face sending a second message. Not everything is as it seems. Some images also, I'm being told, are old photos, not new. Yes, Jerry Maguire, there it is. Show me the money. And look how that went. You know, he was like, look, you know, I'm really focused on this. And then boom, had a revelation. So romantic. You complete me. Oh, man, they're really worried you're going to get somebody else. I mean, everything you have done in the dark with them, they are thinking, who is going to be with my divine feminine? Who is going to be those things? Is my divine feminine going to get pregnant to another person? Why can I not get that? I mean, I'm really seeing they want to have the celebration with you. All the way down to some of you were wondering where they were at Christmas. It could have been shared with a family. It might have been shared with an old situation that you did. But what I'm saying here is they're thinking about the next Christmas. They're like, I wonder who Divine Feminine was with. Yeah, they just have made a decision that that is not going to be. Yeah, see, last Christmas. I gave you my love. Yeah, we do worry. All of us worry. We're sort of like, yeah, but if I give my heart to you, will you give it away? Yeah, for a while there, they had been worried that they couldn't fix it, that the damage was done. I do feel they're moving beyond that. They're like, I've been waiting. For some of you, you may need to give a green flag. I guess we call it a white flag. It's like, I might be salty, but you can talk. Yeah, I'm hearing putting the white flag up. What else am I saying? Yeah, I do feel a lot of you have this wariness, okay, as we're going into this. Is there going to be a third party? Look, 100%. If there is to be a new third party, Divine Feminine's out here whooping ass. She's like, you know what? That is simply not going to work. And I really do think it will be simply in your demeanor. It's more a statement piece. I definitely feel it's a statement piece. It's with you, your confidence. It's with your knowledge. It's with you able to, you know, being able to care for yourself and knowing what you're worth. You're actually attracting it in. Those of you that are struggling a little bit more, you know, really knowing what you want and having that foundation, but being open for communication and movement. Some of you will feel more grounded. Some of you are going to feel confident. Some of you are going to see the karmic cycle in a very different light. Some of you are going to have dream states where this and it's almost like you're trying to block it out. It's like it's coming through that they're having dirty dreams about you. And you're like, nope, my front door's here. You want to see me? Don't come up in my 5D and 4D. You turn up in the 3D. Some of you are going to get a phone call. Let's pull a clarifier. What do they want to show about movement in the first week of March? Some of you are going to be told that a masculine may pass a karmic test. Definitely here, gossip. Some of them are going to show up at your door and you're going to freak. Okay, we've got base chakra, love, and personal boundaries. It's by the way you are showing up and being grounded, loving, and having healthy boundaries. It's really attractive. It's really attractive. Some of you are going to want to run for the hills, but I do feel a majority of you are just going to be point blank zero, quite surprised at how you actually deal with these circumstances. I do feel some of you are trying to get goals to really gain your confidence. This can be anything down to saving for a home, dealing with a home-related environment. It could be moving home, the way you protect yourself, the way you deal with your stress levels. I also feel you're wanting to change the inside out, but it does feel body changes. But I do feel if you can keep the communication in an open, loving way, you're actually attracting this back in. Don't be scared of your power. Don't be scared of being transparent and authentic, because I feel it's like sometimes you do need to repeat yourself because they haven't quite had the confidence inside themselves that, yes, you are the one. There's definitely chemistry here. I don't know why they're talking about Easter, but Easter's popped up all of a sudden. There's definitely chemistry here. Okay, don't be surprised if they come up in your dreams. Try to pass any karmic tests you physically can moving into March, because as we do move into March, we can have people from the past coming back and opportunities for suitors. Disconcern between what is the right path for you and what isn't.